Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Charade Maniacs, and we are going to do this the right way. Because I'm not dealing. Look, listen. Alright, so I've now bookmarked the Not Quite Guide. That's on Reddit. Bird, you're gonna have to move because the way my head is, I can't stare at the ceiling with you jammed under my chin like that. Sorry. Okay, anyway, Bird's with me. We know the drill. Anyway, so I found that post where every single character is spoiler tagged individually. And the first route, surprise, surprise, gee, who could it be? Tomose. It's too early to swear in the video, but I do anyway. But I don't need to get all my videos need to stop being demonetized because YouTube is dumb. Anyway, surprise, Tomose. Who did we say the whole time? Oh, the safest route, obviously. So I'm not really surprised here that Tomose is the first route and whatever. But, like, I'm trying to think here. Okay, oh my god. Computer, do not jack up my volume. This music is too loud. Hold on, I'm gonna click new game. Okay, yes, hold on. Before we start skipping. So I have Atome Kitten's guides. I will open the Tomose one, and okay, again, yeah, one ending. It's not our first route, but we don't have a common route save file because we weren't using guides before, and we're going to. The only thing with this one is I'm going to choose the good thing about this, doing Tomose now, I'm going to choose the options that are probably the opposite, because we want to see the Futami stuff that we missed. But that last choice, there should be no problem with doing it this way, because we chose Tomose 99% of the time, and that one freaking choice we made pushed us in Futami's route. But anyway, thinking about this, we tried going down Tomose's route last time, we know this. And we saw, and I was thinking about it, and I was trying to think, like, where do the characters fit? Obviously, like, I'm not surprised Tomose's first. I knew he was in the beginning. There's no way he's the safest freaking bet out of anyone. So, being number one, not surprised. Not surprised. I really, honestly, I'm still on high GB and freaking the producer then, but I'm not sure. I don't like Futami being the sponsor because that throws out my whole Gyobu's the sponsor thing because he acts us as fuck. And we know damn well he's a locked route because he's in this group and, like, we can go down Tomose's route, obviously. We could go down, like, come on. If you're locked, why? Like, so I'm going to throw out there, maybe he's a second sponsor. Maybe there's a second secret one. Or maybe when some of the things Futami said were meant to make us think, like, make you go, wait, is there a second one, though? Because he didn't straight out say it, you know, but I got sus vibes from it, but maybe I'm just trying to read into it. I don't know. So I'm still not sure who the other character is that's locked in the information group, because, like, I feel like Akase's safe. I'm starting to lean toward just analyzing, like, the routes that we've gone down, right? Tomose, we saw, again, we didn't go down his route, but we went to all the meetings and things with him. So technically, what we should have gotten in his route, when we were out with him at that antique store or whatever, and we saw Ibana's arm, right? And we already knew something was sus with Ibana, because why do you have a glove on one hand, bro? And Iochi being like, oh yeah, other people have been here before. Right, Ibana? You know what I mean? So I started thinking about this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Tomose being in the beginning makes sense. Him being number one makes sense. I'm starting to wonder if Iochi actually was better to do before Ibana for that reason. You know what I mean? Like, we tried to go down Ibana's route. I don't think there was a problem really with Iochi being the first route versus second or third. Because, again, I'm assuming characters 1, 2, and 3 are one from each, group. And then 4, 5, and 6 is the second one from each group. And then 7, 8, and 9 are the locked routes at each group. And it's not like characters, hold on, Oh, we're in chapter 2. Hold on. Okay, we're going to end up going to all of these. So, all right. I'm just skipping through and we're doing the theory stuff. So, I'm starting to wonder then if maybe Yoshi was supposed to be like second, and then Akase, if Akase's his partner, that says go to the loading, but if Akase's his partner, good God, free shops. Then it would make sense if he was the third character. And I feel like after doing Futami's route, that's kind of the thought process you're supposed to have. I mean, okay. Hold on. Go to the school. Okay. Or we're coming up on where our save is supposed to go. And I will just... Okay, we're supposed to... I don't know why end the exploration. Why wouldn't we end the exploration and then do the save? But whatever, it says to do the save here. So I'm going to do the save here, but here's the problem. You know what? I'm just going to straight up save it on our first save. Our save file, because that'll just be easier. But anyway. So end the exploration. Okay. So if... Because I think before we doing Futamu's route, it was like maybe Akase is his partner because he seems like, let's make friends and be buddies with everybody. But then Dazai had that moment. The only reason I was sus of Dazai and possibly being his partner is because he was like, oh, I got a message and then pieced out. And it was like, is that around the time that we start? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Iochi's pinging him. You know what I mean? So we're going to go to the living room. Okay. I think we already talked to Tomose last time. But this is what's annoying because we're not gonna... Okay, here's the thing. If we go through all of these and we do all the Futami stuff, right? To see the Futami stuff, we choose the last choice, that's the Tomose thing, and it still puts us in Futami's route. I'm literally gonna flip my computer, quit the game, and never do this one again. That's an empty threat, you know, I'll keep going. But I'm gonna be mad about it, okay? Because we did all the Tomose shit, except for that one fucking choice, and got Futami's route. Fuck, what the hell? So if we do the opposite, and we still get Futami, I'm gonna be fucking livid. Because then this game is really not structured well, and I'm really pissed about it. Like, so... but worst case scenario, if that happens... We're just going to come back, we'll skip through, do all the Tomose shit, and get the Tomose route. Okay, we'll know, so whatever, we'll just have some skipping at the end, and, like, we've already seen all the Tomose shit anyway, so, like, it says to talk to Tomose, but I'm going to talk to Futami. See, now we can talk to Kyobu. That wasn't there. So you're telling me he's locked, and he's not the sponsor, and, like, I'm supposed to, whatever? Okay. Pause the theory stuff, let's talk to Futami. Anyway. Futami, you're an alumni of our school, so you should come to visit sometimes. Huh. If I had such a cute, obedient upperclassman, I'd have all the reason I need... Underclassman, sorry. I was like, upperclassman doesn't sound right, because I can't read. I'd have all the reason I need to drop in. But, Futami, it'd be nice to have a dependable upperclassman like you. I think it'd have been fun to do stuff together. I'm flattered to hear you say that. You can depend on me here too, you know. Okay. So anyway. Interesting. Which one did we do last time? Because... Oh, we're in the common route. Right. We've been to the library before, but we'll follow this. That's fine. I for some reason thought we were already in the cleaning team. I forgot we haven't chosen those yet. But anyway, like, so I was kind of thinking, like, maybe if... Oh, we have to talk to Chigasaki. Really? Why do we talk to Chigasaki? Do you think that matters? Do you think if we go to the library and we talk to Iochi, because that's what we did last time, we're like, oh, we'll just talk to Iochi and just sit. Do you think that pushes us more toward Futami versus Chigasaki would push us more toward Tomo? Do you think this really matters? I feel like this only matters in the sense of, you know what, hold on a second. I want to see something. We've already done Futami, so I'm going to open his for a hot second. It's not like I'm spoiling anything here. No, this says Chigasaki for each one. Huh. I'm why Chigasaki? That's now making me think, just checking those two, that like Chigasaki feels like a safe one. Because between Chigasaki and Dazai and Akase, I don't really know who the lock route is on that. I don't really know. Like, Chigasaki could be sus just because he's, kind of always there and helping us. He's been very supportive in both routes we go down. You know what I mean? Always very friendly, always there, seeming concerned for us and stuff like that. So that could be suspicious, but to me, it doesn't seem like it. Like, Kyobu seems sus as fuck. So if he's like, oh, I'm concerned about you, blah, 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 you're like, there's a sus reason for this. Chigasaki, the way it's written, is like, no, he just seems like genuinely nice and he's concerned. So I don't feel any sus vibes for that, but it could be, And Dazai we know nothing about. Nothing. He pops in every once in a while, but he's never there. So by that, it's like, I can't say he's sus because he's never there, but he's sus because he's never there? So it's like, I don't know. And again, Akase's the same way, where it's like, maybe you're sus because you're just so positive you want everyone to be friends. But from what we've seen from Futami's route, I'm more prone to think at this point he's Iochi's partner. Because here's what I think should have happened. We know Tomose's the first route now. Okay. I would have thought after doing Iochi's route that Ibana would have come before him, just because Iochi's route kind of does have that, it's not really a spoiler, but it's that big twist of like, oh, he works for the Information Bureau or whatever, right? But now knowing what we know after Futami's route and Iochi's route, it's kind of like, and all the stuff we tried to do by getting Tomose's route, so we know not Tomose's route himself, but all the lead up in the common route stuff, where we went with Tomose about Ibana's arm and all that. I'm starting to lean toward, okay, now we know Tomose's first. We see Ibana's arm in that thing. You already knew Ibana's arm was an issue when we were going down the first thing, because it's like, why do you wearing a glove on that hand? Like, whatever. We saw all the things about with Iochi, like people having been here before, and we already had that theory. Plus, Iochi is constantly like, yeah, people have been here before. Right, Ibana? And you're like, are you trying to hint at something? So I'm starting to feel like possibly I could see it being, okay, Tomose we know was first. I could see Iochi being second or third. But like being one of the first three routes, being that character, but being done before Ibana, just because you know what I mean? You have both of them, say they're routes 1 and 2. I don't know if Iochi would be 2 or 3, whatever, interchangeable kind of. But like you see Tomose and you got the arm thing going on with Ibana's arm in that thing. You have Iochi being like, yeah, people have been here before. Huh? Right, Ibana? Right, Ibana? Like constantly needling him a little, where you're like, trying to hint at shit. And we picked that up, right, when we played Iochi's route. We already knew something was up with Ibana's arm because, hi, why do you only wear a glove on one hand, bro? And the whole bumping into him in school type of a thing where that was kind of a flat, like they've kind of set it up. So I feel like even though Iochi's reveal as being working for the Information Bureau seems like, oh, that's a pretty big deal. Nothing really gets told in his route, but I kind of feel like if you think about it, that little snippet in Tomose's route about Ibana, that little snippet in Iochi's route about Ibana, I feel like they should have both definitely been like 1 and 2, or obviously 1 and 3 somewhere. But I think Iochi should have been done before Ibana. I think Ibana's in 4, 5, and 6. You know what I mean? And then I'm wondering if that means, so say Iochi is character 2 then, right? Then it would make sense if his partner, Dazai, Chigasaki, or Akase, I'm betting one of them, because they're in that third group and I'm thinking it's one from each, cooking team, cleaning team, investigation team, is the partner. So I would think Akase is the partner, right? And then you do characters 4, 5, and 6. So Ibana would be in that grouping. Futami, obviously, we know. But I think Futami is supposed to be character 6. I don't think there's any way. We know Tomose's 1. I would freaking bet a kidney. I don't have many left because I've sold them all. is character 6, because I feel like you should have been going through this whole thing being like, oh my God, who's the producer, sponsor? Oh my God, whatever. And then you get the reveal and you're like, oh, it's got to be one of the lock characters. You get to Futami and you're like, the fuck? And based on Futami's route with the whole Iochi talking to Akase and whatever, it makes it seem like Akase really is his partner. And I feel like that reveal should have come before. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, they're not spelling things out just in case. So, like, if you were to have done Akase's route first, maybe he would be like, oh, yeah, I'm helping someone in the investigation bureau, and you wouldn't know it's Iochi until you did Iochi's route, right? Fine, valid. And, like, Iochi was constantly, like, mentioning they had a partner, but doesn't tell you who it is, because that would ruin that route if you hadn't done it. But Futami's, even though, like, and Iochi doesn't come out saying they work for the investigation or information bureau in Futami's route, but you can kind of, if you already knew that, which we did, you can kind of see where that plays in. And then the whole Akase thing, like, oh no, blah, 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 but we need to do this, right? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm starting to lean to possibly, I mean, obviously Tomose is number one. We knew he was a safe bet. I wasn't questioning that ever. But I think Iochi and Akase might be characters 2 and 3. Somewhere in there. And I would then say Iochi would be 2, Akase would be 3, because you would find out Iochi had a partner and then find out who the partner is. Now, we might not find out who the partner is till 4, 5, or 6, whatever. So I'm still kind of like on the fence about who in the information bureau goes where, who's 4, 5, and 6. Or who's in group 1 through 3, who's in group 4, 5, 6, and who's in group 7 and 9. I don't know who the lock character is. I'm not really sure. I feel like Akase is definitely safe, but I don't really get too many sus vibes from Chigasaki or Dazai. It's kind of either way. It's like, they're not really sus, but that could be sus about them, and like, I feel like Dazai's slightly more suspicious just because you don't know anything about him. Like, he's never around, you don't really talk to him ever. But this is just my long way. I mean, it would have been better to be saying this while we were skipping, but I wanted to get it out before I forgot, and apparently we should... I just don't know if we should... You know what? I'm just... Okay. I know it says Chigasaki. I'm going to go with Iochi because we already talked to Iochi, and that just skips through, and then I should have just... my brain was trying to, like, decide if we should do that. You know what I mean? Wait. I'm just making sure I close the right guide and I still have Tomose's open as we end up. Yeah. I don't think that drives whose route you're in, so I'm fine with just not, because I want to talk to Chigasaki when we have time with Chigasaki, you know what I mean? We already talked to Iochi, we've done Iochi's route, so whatever. And since we've already done Futami's route by accident, I think it's fair to, like, open that one and see, because it's not spoiling anything, so. But yeah, so I mean, I feel like based on what we know, which I'm shocked about, and actually, you know what? I'm not mad then about tripping over Iochi's route first. And we did this already because we know we want to talk to Tomose. You know, so I'm fine with this. Although I do, again, feel like... thanks for always worrying about me. See, I'm smart. I'm not dumb. I knew that was the Tomose answer. Okay, and then this too, like, exit the lodging. So we're going out here. And this is what I'm pretty sure I'm going to see here. Oh, we didn't do this last time. Interesting. We're on skip. We didn't do this. But see, here's the thing. I didn't do this. I didn't talk to Futami that time. How the fuck, if I'm doing everything with Tomose not doing this, where I'm balancing both, did we end up in Futami's fucking route? It's bonkers. Like, right now, we have made every choice that I have made, except for, instead of talking to Tomose, I talked to Futami here. So you'd think right now I'm leaning heavily more toward Futami, but somehow the opposite, when we did everything for Tomose, I ended up in Futami's route because of one choice. The fuck? Because I started thinking that it was like this. Oh, every time you go 2 locations, I went to Tomose and Futami. So then we were kind of even, and then that one choice kind of pushed you over a little. No! We didn't do this! What the fuck? Mad. I'm even more mad, and I think that the weighting and the choices is done really badly. Whatever. As I was heading out to go search for clues, I found Futami and Haiji standing by the entryway. This is good, though, because now we see the Futami shit that we missed. Are you two going out somewhere? Yeah, we're going to the library. Although, now knowing what we know, this is more suspicious. You two are going to the library. We know that Futami is the sponsor or a sponsor, and I already had sus feelings about Haiji, and now you're together, and again, that kind of fucking ruins it. Kinda fucking ruins it. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, it's fine. It is what it is, but if I had this to do over again, if I could rewind time, I would absolutely have followed the route order that's we're going to be doing now, where we just only see the first character, because going in blind was not a great idea. Not seeing the full route order, absolutely great idea, because I'm going to guarantee you, if I click Otome Kittens 1, I'm going to see everybody, and I'm going to know, and that's going to ruin everything. But going in blind, no, it takes a lot of the fun out, and I'm still mad about it, guys. Never going to get over it. But anyway. They're going to the library, and the two, now we know, and again, this wouldn't be as suspicious if we didn't know what we know now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, to be fair, I already had sus about Haiji because it's brilliant. You know, him pretending to be a child, you know, whatnot. But, like, look at the eye color. Just what I'm saying. Like, Haiji better be your younger brother, because then you being obsessed and crazy makes sense. But also, actually, Haiji being the sponsor and probably being at least our age, 16, 17, whatever, just like having a childlike appearance, pretending to be 12 so that everybody like writes him off as like, oh, he just doesn't know. He doesn't know, whatever. Just think about it. Think about it. How many movies and things have you seen where like the sweet, innocent, like, oh, nobody suspects that it's the doll murdering people because dolls, they're cute, or the stabby teddy bear, or like the child, and yet it is because why? Would you assume if your house is being haunted, it's because of that cute teddy bear you brought home that's possessed by a demon? No. No. You think it's that creepy, ugly, scary thing. You know what I mean? So, like, sweet, innocent little 12-year-old, he's whatever, we gotta protect him. And he's the mastermind. Makes fucking sense. It's brilliant. But it's been done a billion times. So, I mean, there was no way you're not gonna do anything. I'm not, like, begrudging, like, oh, it's been done a million times. You're not original. That's not what I'm saying. But it's been done before, so it's easy enough to go, oh, I see what... Smart. You tried to fucking bamboozle us, but I see what you're doing. And also, again, my hope that, like, I write and he's just pretending to be 12, because otherwise that's disgusting. And I don't want to have to sign myself up for a government watch list playing this game because, ew, 12-year, that's gross. So that's why I want to believe it. But now knowing that, like, Futami is a sponsor, maybe not the only one. I'm still Sasa Yobu, okay? Fucking still on that train. But I'm like reading and like, you have the same eye color. He's your younger brother. Or you see him like your younger brother, and like knowing Futami's like issues and shit that he went through, that this is like you're using him as a stand-in for your younger brother. You know what I mean? If he's not actually your younger brother, like he's a placeholder. Goes like my younger whatever, but like I can act like the older brother for Haiji and he respects me for it, and like I get the validation from him that I don't get from my younger brother. That kind of a thing, you know? Anyway. Gonna teach me how to read kanji. The big sis wanna come with? Library. If you don't mind, I'd be happy to. I can do some research there. Uh-huh, now they're taking us. That seems suspicious. And I might be able to help you learn how to read the kanji characters, too. Alright, then let's go. Really, you invited us. As we entered the library, I noticed Chigasaki standing in one of the rows, pulling some materials from the shelf. Oh, Chigasaki, are you here to do research too? Oh, was he in the thing with all, was it all three of the characters? It might have been. I missed it. I forgot. Sana and Futami and Haiji too. Are we in the way? How big the fucking library is? The dumbest question. Of course not. I was just a little surprised to see Futami and Haiji here for the first time. Yeah, I'm not the library type. I see you going on about a lot though. Is this where you always run off to? Well, I do come to the library often. It's quiet here. So, what do you all need in the library? I'm here to study kanji. Their voices are too similar, and I'm sorry, I can't help it. They're not supposed to be in the same scenes. That's good. They're learning materials and even picture books for kids here. Is it my imagination? Chigasaki has seemed nervous since we got here. See, now they're trying to make Chigasaki seem sus. He said he comes to the library because it's quiet, so maybe we're in his way. Maybe he just likes to be alone. Hey, bro, Futami, I want this one. You picked it out yourself? Well, let's get reading then. Yeah. And the thing is this is really fucking weird if all my theories are right, that because like Futami would know who the producer is. So Futami and Haiji going through this, like Haiji could be like, oh yeah, we're going to the library, he's gonna help me, and then like, oh, Chigasaki's here, so let's just pretend or whatever. But like the fact that they're going through with this fucking ruse is bizarre. The picture book that Haiji brought has some cute illustrations. The moon rabbit and the astronaut. That's interesting. Do you know this one, Chigasaki? Yes. It's about an astronaut who lands on the moon and befriends the moon rabbit by talking to him about the Earth. More proof that Haiji is an alien! He's one of the Arcadians. He's an alien. He's not real. That could also explain why he doesn't know shit. That sounds like a wonderful story. The rabbit loves the stories about Earth, and the astronaut promised to take him to Earth someday. See, I feel like the parallels here. Are you trying to tell me that Haiji is actually an Arcadian and brought everyone here to entertain the Arcadians because he wanted to learn more about Earth, and he's actually some kind of weird fucking alien thing? Because I'd buy that too. But the rabbit can only survive on the moon, so he turns the astronaut down. But the rabbit says he likes the astronaut, so they'll always be friends, even if they're apart. The astronaut responds saying that he'll come again someday before returning to Earth. So that's the story? Oh, sorry. I made it sound sad. No, it's not your fault, Chigasaki. So the astronaut promises to come see him again, right? I think the astronaut would have kept that promise no matter how many years it took. Sana says, can I read this part now? Which part? Because I like you. We're friends. Wherever we are. I get that right. I'm going to try to tweak his voice a little while they're in the same scenes anyway. You sure did, Haiji. Great job. Great job, child who actually knows how to read because you're not really a child. Also, okay, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't know when school children... For my brain was going to be like, shouldn't you know how to read at 12? But, kanji, I get it. Like, you probably, like, you know what I mean? That's just going to take fucking forever. That's a lot. You got 3 different fucking alphabets to learn, like... But, like... So I don't really know when it comes to Japanese school children, like, where you would be at, like, 12 with your kanji learning. You know what I mean? Like... But it's difficult because when you're reading in English, you're like, at 12, you should know how to fucking read. But we don't have to learn kanji. We don't have multiple alphabets. We have one. And English is stupid. So I get it. We're not, it's not like at 12, you're like, hey, here, read this freaking, like, novel. Read Shakespeare. Although, we do kind of do that to high school kids, and Shakespeare's fucking hard. Listen, the oldie English is stupid, okay? Nobody knows. But, like... So I don't really know how to make the comparison here, but it does feel weird. You're like, shouldn't you know some of this by now? But, like, maybe not, because I don't think even after like a long period of time, I don't know if I would. I don't know kanji, so I think I'm just being sus of him at every freaking opportunity. You know? I like you, big sis. Huh? Haiji's a player, which proves that he's not 12. Yeah, I think so too. It's better to tell the people you like, right? What about you, big sis? Do you like me? I do like Haiji, but being asked this so suddenly. Say you like Haiji. Yeah, no, see, we're supposed to look at Futami. Which is good because this is the Futami interaction, so. My eyes met with Futami's and he nodded as if to tell me he'd take care of it. Thank goodness. I think he understood. I'm sure Futami would know what to say to him. Haiji, Sina says she likes you too. Huh? Really? Futami, I thought you were gonna help me. He's trying to help. Now, see, now knowing what we know about him, that sus fucking face, and you're like, if, I mean, there's some shit happening in this scene that I don't think, I wouldn't have picked up on, you know what I mean, if we didn't know what we know about Futami now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would have been like, okay, Futami's helping Haiji's, being like, I might have picked up on the sprite and been like, why does he have a sus face on? But like, knowing that he's the sponsor and he's obsessed and he was trying to lure us in through his route, you know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, I can't hate knowing for reasons like this where you're picking up on things where you're like, well, now you can see these things that you might not have picked up on not knowing, but at the same time, it does take away from shit, so. Oh, what's wrong? I do like you too, Haiji. Good for you, Haiji. Yeah. I guess this was Futami's way of helping. Oh, we're still here. And while we're together, we should talk about these kinds of things you can't figure out on your own. But you can rely on us for those things too. Doesn't have to be only reading kanji. I wonder if like Futami knows that Haiji isn't actually a literal child. You know what I mean? Does he know? Is he part of the ruse, or does he actually like just think? I mean, like, he obviously, I would feel like he has to know that Haiji's the producer, right? Because you can't, I mean, because I think it'd be weird if it was just, oh, it's a voice that comes out of a whatever, and I never saw the person, but like everything they said or everything that I read that they wrote to me, it was like, because that's crazy and you need to see a therapist. But like, people can be easily bamboozled into cults by the way, like, cult leaders, you know, the way they act and the way they are and their charisma, but it's a person to person type of a thing. There's something about that in person, like, aspect that, you know, but so it'd be really weird to like read a letter and be like, oh my God, that's a lot harder. And you'd have to be really crazy to like actually kind of fall for stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about that, like, actually talking to a person. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, it'd be weird. I'm just kind of trying to figure out. I mean, well, I guess we've already figured out that Futami's a little, like, fucked in the head anyway, so whatever. Anyway. Okay. When I see these two like this, it makes them seem like brothers. See? And that right there! Right there! See, what did I say? And then you throw that in, and it makes me wonder if my theory is right. Chigasaki whispered to me as we stood a little ways away. Right? The way I see it, Futami would make a good big brother. Sina, good big sister already. I have lots of younger siblings, but Chigasaki, you're also a considerate and caring person yourself. You put your research on hold to help us teach Haiji. That's so? I'm honored you'd think that. Could be that Chigasaki isn't really a sociable person. Valid. Then maybe I can help him somehow. With those thoughts in mind, I quietly returned the picture book file that Haiji brought back to the shelf. See, that whole saying, like, oh, they're almost like brothers. That makes me wonder if they really are brothers. Again, I'm not. That's theory A. Theory B is just Haiji is a stand-in for Utami's actual younger brother. So I don't know which way it's going to go. And either one of those things could be valid because that could be what Chigasaki meant. Like, that could be the game hinting to you, like, they're actually brothers. See, Chigasaki said that, remember? Or, again, Chigasaki saying that is like when you find out later Utami and his whole younger brother issues, whatever, and then you find out Haiji's the producer, you're like, oh, he's like a stand-in for your brother. And then it makes sense and, whatever. So I'm going to assume we do the cleaning team again. I'll join the cleaning team. All right, so this is where we're supposed to... But the thing is, again, if Kyobu's not another sponsor, what's his fucking deal? I can't imagine... Okay. Like, I feel like when you first get Iochi's route, getting the reveal that they're part of the Information Bureau seems kind of big. You're like, ooh, okay. Should we have gotten this route right off the bat? Right? But now, knowing some of the other things we know, I'm thinking, yeah, okay. Because it's not as big of a reveal as, like, Ibana having been here before, lost his arm type of a thing, and, like, I feel like that's almost a little bit bigger of a twist than Iochi. But, and again, I'm only saying that because of Iochi, like, needling Ibana about having been there before and us finding the arm with Tomose. So it's, you know what I mean? It kind of, like, leads in where then it seems like Ibana should be later. Because, we go to the park. Well, we've been to both, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, this is... Okay, I couldn't remember what part we were on, but... Alright, so this is where we see everybody, and... Okay, so this is fine. Whatever. And you know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you did Ibana's route first, then Iochi needling him. But I just feel like there's certain things that kind of, like, lead into other routes, and it kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? So, like, if you went down Ibana's... If we did Ibana's route first... Yeah, sure, fine. We find out the information. Then you did Tomose's route, and then you find Ibana's arm. Then when you look at the route order and you realize Tomose should have come before Ibana, yeah, then it kind of makes sense. But I feel like there's certain things based on just the few tiny pieces of information that I have so far, in that, like, okay, Tomose's first, you learn about you see Ibana's arm, and you're like, that's weird. Iochi needling him, and then you get Ibana. Then you're starting to look back and you're going, oh. So I really do think the route order, like, kind of fucking matters. And again, the little list in on the Reddit thread, there's a thing that says, like, characters 1 through 3 are kind of interchangeable, 4, 5, and 6. And that makes sense. Okay. Which one of these? We talked to someone, and that was Tomose. But let me open Futami's and see what his says. Because we want to do that. Futami... Oh, is that the library? Okay. So we're going to do that because we want to see the Futami stuff. And again, like I said, worst case, we'll just come back, re-skip through everything again, and do the Tomose stuff if we don't end up in Tomose's route with that last choice. So... Because we're never coming back and doing Futami stuff, so we're going to miss all these Futami conversations. And again, that's something I don't like either. I don't like that we missed all these things by doing it this way. We're like, we did 90% Tomose and we somehow still got on the wrong route. I don't like that. Like, it's not like we chose random things and we had a conversation here, conversation there. Like, we did all the right thing, almost all the right thing. And so I don't think these are weighted right. And I want to think in a quiet place. There could be a hint I could find about the dramas. Yeah, let's do that. I've never seen any Arcadians at the library, so that's why I think it's where I can relax. Seeing all the books lining the shelves would make me forget about time, and I thought I could help by doing some research, too. There are videos of previous Otherworld streams. There could be others who receive punishment, so I could take that as a reference. But I imagine seeing someone with no voice or parts of their bodies immobile, and that just made me feel depressed. If I use them as a reference, how does that make me any different from the otherworld people who watch the dramas for fun? I looked at the bookshelves with a heavy heart, and then someone tapped me on the shoulder. Hey, here to check something? Tommy, I thought no one was here. I was just thinking about things. What about you, Futami? I'm also thinking about things. I haven't been to the library at all, so I was trying to look around to see what they have. I haven't been to the library at all. You came to the library with Haiji literally the day before. Is this like a loophole in the game, like a plot hole that they didn't realize they wrote in? Or is this to make Futami sus as fuck? But all the data here isn't much different from what we find in the Bangle, right? And there are some analog materials, though. Right, but it feels different when you read it at the library. Oh, that is different. And by the way, this piece of material apparently isn't in the Bangle. The disc that Futami held up seemed to be a record of a past informational program. It says it can't be viewed externally. Want to check it out? It had something interesting. What is it? Oh, seem interested. Oh, let's play it back. Here, have a seat. Futami held the disc over a tablet placed at the library. It quickly loaded and the video started playing. On July 20th, 1969, mankind landed on the moon. On July 20th, 2108, 139 years later, mankind descended upon the moon once more and began the long-awaited Morpheus project. Hey, isn't this video... 10 years have passed since then, and the satellite Morpheus takes its current form and begins to orbit the Earth. Due to its moon-like appearance, Morpheus is called the second moon. When we watched that video, I sent a message to Futami. I've seen this video before. A teacher at school showed it to us. I think it's famous. Oh, really? It was hidden away like it was really important, so I thought it could be something like that. Tommy stopped the video and then pointed at the two moons. Yoichi also talked about the two moons. About 30 years ago, you could see two moons from Earth. He then looked at the ceiling and pointed at the sky. According to this footage, the sky of this world is identical to the sky from 30 years ago. It's true, the size and distance seem completely identical. Does that mean the producer and the others recreated the world from 30 years ago to show us? Nice. I thought the same thing. You would know. See, and now he has shady face. The electronic paper display at this library also seemed a bit retro in my eyes, so I found it odd. 30 years ago, the General Information Management System still wasn't widely in use, so it's not strange for it to be missing from the lodging. Even with the Arcadians, buildings, and scenery, what if they're just showing what's convenient to us to make it look like a utopia? And again, knowing now what we know about Futami, it makes sense. What if they're just doing this to show us a utopia? But the weird thing about this is you're acting as this would be something somebody not suspicious would say. Wait for it. Like, what if they're just showing us what's convenient to make it look like a utopia? But Futami actually believes it is a utopia. So it's a weird thing for like, what if they're just trying to make it look like a utopia? Instead of being like, what if they're showing us like this because it's a utopia? Like, he would have phrased it in a way that makes it sound like he believes it. So later when you look back, you're like, wait, the phrasing of what you said at the time seemed innocuous. But now knowing what I know, you really believed it was a utopia by the way you said it. This is something that someone who's suspicious of why we're here would phrase it. You know what I mean? To the producer, the scenery from 30 years ago is a utopia. Arcadia, as they call it. Scenery from 30 years ago is the utopia. Maybe the producer just likes the good old days. And that makes him more human, and I don't mind that. And are you saying that because the producer's actually an alien? That's one way to think about it. But that's only on the outside. And considering we're living with the mud marionettes and ruins makes me feel pity instead. And then again, certain things that you're saying, it makes you just like, it could just be a cover up, but it is very odd considering how much of a fanatic you are, you know? Pity. It's true that having to see that scenery every day would be terrible. If I were the producer, I'd want to change how it looks too. I know, right? The interior and exterior not matching is pretty common, so you have to at least fix up your exterior, you know? Is it really all that common? I must have looked like I wasn't convinced, and Futami noticed it and changed his expression. No need to make that face. It's the same in any world. And there's barely anyone that's the same inside and out. Now, this is something I expect you to say, because, like, outside I look nice, and inside I'm like a psycho. Maybe, but I don't think everyone's like that. Well, I guess you would be that way. He made this troubled smile, and I felt embarrassed for feeling so strongly about it. Wonder why. I might have felt annoyed because it felt like I was told not to trust anyone. I think it's the same as the dramas in that sense. Huh? Talking about the dramas you act in. I think you should just do what you want. If you're still hesitant, thought you should know this. About reappearing in it? I was thinking about it one more time. I see. And this happened a while ago, but when the topic of you and Banjo's kiss scene came up, he told me to forget about it. After seeing me nod, Futami continued. It's because the inside and outside differed. I don't know about Banjo, but it wasn't a real kiss to you back then. If anything, you were completely reluctant. Told me to forget about it because it was just an act. Well, I nod again. How about thinking about it in the same way? You're not going to push off Haiji because you're serious. You actually want to protect him, to cherish him. And that's something that can only be done if you remain alive. You can't protect him if you die because of the punishment game. Now, okay. Him saying this is, like, in one way, right? You're not going to push Haiji out of the window because you're serious, like you want to hurt him. You want to protect him, to cherish him. That's something that, as knowing that he's the sponsor, makes sense for him to say. Protect him, to cherish him, because Haiji's the producer, right? Throw that out. Or, again, possibly your younger brother or a stand-in for your younger brother in your mind. Whatever. Let's just go with that, okay? But it's funny because he's saying this as if for him, as himself. You want to protect him, to cherish him, because you can't protect him if you die. But he's also using these statements as like a way to lure us in. Like, you can't protect him if you die. You want to protect him, and you don't want to do this, and like whatever. Like, he's baiting us with his multi-level marketing scheme over here. But also, on the other level, if you were not suspicious of Futami at all, because like obviously at this point I don't think I would have been. I'd have been like, that's a weird way to phrase it, to protect him, to cherish him. Like, whoa, back off, dude. I would have been like, that's weird phrasing, but like, whatever. But this is something that somebody who's trying to help you and like, who understands you and is like, being a supportive senpai, right? That's exactly what they would say. So it's like, I do like this because it's like, it's got several layers to it. Yeah, it sounds like something Futami would say to try to reassure you and help you like manage these dramas and like you've got to do it and like I know it's hard but like you know you want to protect him and like you can't protect him if you die, you know? Valid. Yeah, good senpai, great job. And then also, oh my god, you're trying to sell me in your pyramid scheme. Wait a minute. You know what I mean? Ooh, I like that. I like the layers here. And again, I mean there are benefits knowing what we know. I do think it takes a lot away from the game. But I can at least attempt to, now that we've kind of fucked up everything, I feel like, appreciate now some of these lines with Futami and be like, now knowing what we know, it's kind of fun to read into these lines and see what you're actually saying underneath. And I would never choose to do it this way, though. Like, I would rather not be doing it this way than be doing it this way, but because we have to, because we fell down Futami's route first and kind of ruined some things, at least I'm trying to do my best to be like, well, okay, looking on the positive side, it's interesting, I guess, seeing the Futami insight underneath his words. There's no need to be fixated on how it looks. I was part of a drama where I got hurt, but the pain only lasted a moment. And there was no need to think too deeply about it. I'm sure Haiji would agree to it because it's to get your voice back. That may be true, but what Futami said did appear to make sense. I just dealt with the kiss scene with Tomose as part of the drama. I wondered what's different about it. If I really wanted to go back alive, I have to act with that in mind. I understand what he means by this. Still, this didn't compare to the kiss. That's what I really thought about it. If I push Haiji out the window, then what? What act would I make in the next drama? If it's if I just deal with it as a drama and I act out everything that comes to me, I might start to act like a murderer. A real actor just might. Do understand what you mean. Tommy then closed the display with the paused video on screen before turning to me. You have a strong will. It's a good thing to think like that. Is that true? Maybe I'm just so stubborn that I'm not able to see around me. Who knows? Are you afraid of the dramas? I might be. I feel like I'm changing with each role that I play. But if you don't act, you don't get points. If you don't get points, you can't go home. But I still think it's wrong to hurt someone just to go home. We're talking in circles now. Maybe. I was still confused and looked down. Utami's cheerful voice echoed in response. Then will you just live here forever? Huh? Isn't that what that means? If you're afraid of the dramas, then you have to keep running. I shook my head defiantly. I don't want that. I want to go home. My family's worried about me. No, they're not. They don't remember you exist. So, I mean, that's positive. My family's worried. They're not, though. So... I mean... You want to go back no matter what? Yes. Yes, if that feeling I have hasn't changed. After that exchange of questions and silence, I was starting to see what mattered most. See what took priority and what could be put off. I'll try to do it without running away, and then I'll think about the best way to act accordingly. Otherwise, as you said, I would never be able to go home. I don't want that. And again, this is interesting and be like, oh, you really want to go home? Yeah. Really? Uh-huh. You sure? So you're the kind that can stand up to fight despite your fear so you can go home. This time I nodded with vigor. Good that you can think that way. Utami smiled at me. His expression was so gentle that his words struck my heart. Would Tommy say all this on purpose to get me to become motivated like this? But I wonder why he said it that way. What does that smile mean? That's what I don't understand. Well, we do now. Don't you want to go back, Futami? Me? Not that I don't want to go back. It's just... Even if I go back to the original world, things aren't always good there, you know? Futami wasn't lamenting. He just sounded like he'd given up. Seems like he fell on tough times back in the original world. That's understatements. That's understatements. I was gonna say that's understating it, and that just came out wrong. But anyway. While I hesitated to ask about it, Futami's expression suddenly changed. Well, never mind me. Anyway, we still have time, so once you make up your mind, just tell me so I can help. Thank you very much. By the way, there's something I want to ask. What is it? If the scenery from 30 years ago is considered a utopia, then the producer's over 30 years old then? Oh my god, that would be the best! That would be hilarious. I would still be grossed out by the age difference now because they're old enough to be our dad, but it would be fucking hilarious if Haiji's like 35 and pretending to be 12. I would die. That would be fucking hilarious. Gross, but hilarious. But I still think he's an alien. Maybe you're right. Yeah, I feel like he's laughing because he's like, yeah, okay. Huh? Was that such a weird question to have? But see, again, he's like, yeah, no. I don't think any of the cast members are that old. The oldest looking one is... No, it's me. Huh? I didn't mean to... No need to rush things. I think that was a great deduction. But then I don't think wanting that old scenery is limited to someone who lived back during that time. We can't conclude anything yet. The truth is yet to be found. Utami ended this conversation with a big smile. Yeah, and I think Haiji's our age, but I'm starting to wonder, like, is he actually, like, our age, came from our world, and, like, Futami's brother, or is he, like, our age, came from our world, just a stand-in for Futami's brother, and, like, what is real deal and why? What's his whole thing with the two-moon thing, and why this is the utopia and the scenery he wants? Or, like... is he actually an Arcadian type of a thing? You know what I mean? Well, this is interesting. This is what we did we go to the park, which, okay, we knew. But the next time we're supposed to go... Well, here's the thing, too. The next time we're supposed to go to the living room. I'm pretty sure we did this. I don't think we went to the entrance, or did we? It says not to go to the entrance, because, again, we're doing all the... Oh, wait. Oh, no, I am on fucking... Okay, hold on. I am on Tomose's. Okay. The entrance in the living room. Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like I would have done everything. No, see, I didn't do this. So I didn't do the Futami heavy shit because maybe we didn't have the option. Okay. Or I just was like, no, we're not going to do Futami. And yet we still got Futami's route. Fucking serious? I thought, seriously, I'm like, well, it's probably because when we got these type of scenes, I went with Tomose and then I went with Futami and I did both of them. You know what I mean? But no, we did all Tomose and other ones we'd already done before. Or other groupings of people we knew we weren't going to get down, whatever. And yet somehow we still got Futami's fucking route. Explain this to me, because this is getting to be more and more fucking baffling. That one fucking choice, that last one at the end about the fucking moon, that's the only thing right now that's pushing us over. How the fuck? How? So I'm even more kind of upset about this game being that the choices are that bad, because there is no way we should have gotten Futami's route. The way, based on what we're doing now, seeing what I didn't choose in the last part, didn't choose Futami time, didn't do this, and yet somehow ended up in his route and missed all the Futami scenes. Now, I know there was going to be times where it's like, talk to Futami, talk to Tomose. We'd obviously talk to Tomose, not see the Futami scene. Okay. But we did all of those for Tomose, and we didn't even do any Futami shit at all. One fucking choice. So far. That's bullshit. So, like, this is my complaint on whoever kind of did the coding behind the scenes, that, like, if every choice is Tomose, but last choice is Futami, then put you in Futami's route. What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. I'm just baffled with how stupidly this was done. Like, anyway, after returning from an outing, I came to the main entrance and found Akase, Haiji, and Futami groaning while they talked about something. Yeah, I want to swim in a pool. That water slide must be so fun. What's a water slide? That's something an alien would say. You don't know. It's this big slide that they put next to pools. Oh, that's Haiji. Oh, sounds like fun. Are you all talking about the summer vacation? About summer vacation, not this summer vacation. Well, oh, Sana. No, I just happened to come back with Akase's group. We were walking and Big Bro Akase saw the sun. Said he wanted to enjoy summer more. That's true. It does feel like summer here. I'd actually be on a trip with my friends right now. Sucks for you. If we work hard at the dramas, maybe they'll make a pool for us, together with the water slide. I wonder how many points we need for that. Kase sounded dejected when he said that, and that ended the topic about summer vacation. No, we returned to the living room after dinner, and we relaxed there while talking about summer vacation again. Let's say there's a pool in the yard. We'll need swimsuits. Well, yeah, it's a pool. Naturally, most of us would wear board shorts or swim trunks. But what about Iochi? Actually, I love this conversation now. I love it when we have when everybody brings up conversation about Iochi and just like being really confused about Iochi. I love it. It's so funny. I feel bad because you're like, you know what? Just don't mind your business. But like, God. Like, we're all just like, Iochi will wear whatever Iochi wants to wear. I was wondering the same thing. I feel like they're partially like, I want to be like, is it insensitive that they're like, oh, what about Iochi? What would they do? And like, always trying to like fucking figure out Iochi's gender because Iochi just doesn't want to say. You know what I mean? But I feel like Iochi plays into it. So, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, is it really intense? Like, Iochi plays into it and absolutely goads people and absolutely is having a little bit of fun with the fact that no one knows what's going on. Like, they're enjoying it, and so it's kind of funny. Iochi appeared out of nowhere behind us, and I could sense that everyone's heart almost stopped. And never mind me. I'm more interested in Seina's swimsuit. Huh? I don't really... Seina's, huh? Seina would look good in anything. She'd leave a different impression with her hair up. Anything you say? Are there that many kinds of girls' swimwear? And they have more options than men do. Bikinis, one pieces, bustiers, and more. The sexier ones that are more revealing, too. Personally, I'd prefer you wear something cute with frills. You might look good in a pareo. What's a pareo? It'll give you a mature look. Is that a pasta? Fucking a cause. I'm glad you're not dead yet, buddy. Sounds delicious. He says sounds delicious and he has that face on and you're trying to tell me he's actually 12 and doesn't know what he's fucking saying when he's like, I want to see her in this bathing suit. Is that a pasta? Yeah, it sounds delicious. And he's giving us that fucking eye. Give me a fucking break. I'm not buying it. When did this become about food? Pareo. Pareo? Is that what it is? I don't know. Well, simply put, it's a cloth wrapped around your waist. Oh, like a sarong. Oh, they have that many options? Which do you like, Seina? Which? If I had to choose, I do prefer the cuter ones. Kind of cute ones. I want to see. See, and he's saying that with that face. Stop it. Huh? Everyone's very interested. I do understand how they feel, though. I mean, now I'm being objectified left and right. This is actually kind of a fun one. How about asking the bouncer for swimsuits? That's a great idea. Maybe you can get us a few. Maybe you can get us a few kinds so that you can choose. They're just deciding on their own. What was it called? Biscuits and filling? Yeah, something like that. You there. Are you referring to bustiers and frills? It's really okay. You don't have to ask. Oh, are we bothering you? And I apologize. I really do think you look good in anything. I agree. Sis, you're cute, so I wish I could see you wear it. I'm happy they're saying this, but I'd be so embarrassed I'd want to die. Everyone talking about this so casually is scary. And maybe it's time to reach out a helping hand. Utami suddenly clapped loudly and everyone became quiet. This topic's over. Huh? Already? It's bedtime, kids. Go with him, Akase. I'm considered a kid, too. Seina, I want to talk to you about tomorrow's cleaning, so can you stick around? Oh, sure. Akase and Haiji obediently went back to their rooms, and Iochi left with a suggestive smile not long after. I bet. Sorry about that. I didn't intend to offend you. I'm fine. You sure? Your face is red. Utami touched my cheek with the back of his hand. Well, if you're fine, I shouldn't have done that. But I didn't want to let them continue seeing that face of yours. That's right. Futami was being considerate for me and jealous. I actually was feeling embarrassed, so thank you for helping me out. I see. Glad you're so honest. To be honest myself, I'm not interested in seeing you in a swimsuit. Oh, I'm interested. I'm not? I'm interested in seeing you in swimsuits, too. Futami, too? Hey, don't look at me like that. Just like them, I want to see it because you're so cute, Seina. Well, wait. Suppose that's just what we want. Sorry. No, it could be that I overreacted then, too. But it is a bit embarrassing. I've only worn swimsuits alone or with family, so I never had the chance to pick one for myself. After hearing my answer, Futami mumbled to himself, saying that it all made sense. I've only ever worn swimsuits with my family? Alone, or with family so I can never pick my own? How the fuck are you wearing a swimsuit? Did your parents picked it out for you? I mean, when you're little and you're young and like whatever, like yeah, you're like, but like you're a teenager now. I think you should have picked your swimsuit at some point on your own. That's weird. That's a very weird thing to say. And then let's say we can go back to the real world and meet over there. Will you go out with me to do some shopping? Huh? For a swimsuit? Yeah. I'll be sure to find one that looks good on you. You know people don't get motivated unless there's a clear goal. Tommy said that with a playful smile, and I didn't know what else to say. I'm happy you'd say this, but it's still a bit embarrassing. Well, I'll be looking forward to it. See, and like this would have like led into, I think, the Futami route a lot better if we had gotten any of these, but we didn't. So again, how the fuck is this balanced? Like, bad job, developers, bad job. After saying that, Futami returned to his room. You know what I mean? It's just, it was badly done because I went back to my room after him, but I could feel that my cheeks were still hot. I mean, I should have just stopped here, but I'm just going to wait till we get to the next section. Like, that's not this, so. It's probably because of the temperature. Maybe I can open the window for some fresh air. I opened the window to try to cool myself off, but my burning cheeks, like the summer sun, would probably linger for a while. So, okay. Well, there you go, chapter 7. But because again, we would never have seen the Futami stuff specifically if we didn't do it this way. And again, that bothers me. Okay, not because, okay, we tripped into the Futami route. That bothers me, but that's a whole separate thing. It bothers me that we didn't do half of these things and we somehow ended up in his route. And it's not like, oh, okay, we chose to go to the location with Tomose and we chose to go to the location with Futami, where now we're balancing between them, and then one or two choices made the difference. One fucking choice. Right now, the only choice that I can see that we made, like, and this, we went to Tomose's room. I know we did that. So, like, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna go to the living room, which is where I have the Futami guide open. We're gonna go to the living room where Futami is, and, oh, we actually do both. Oh, actually, for Futami, we do the living room and the hallway, but we're gonna do Banjo's room and the living room. So we did both in this case. That's what I figured. I figured, oh, we must have done every single choice. Every time it's Tomose and Futami, we did both. Then when it's a choice of one or the other, we did all the Tomose stuff. But then that last choice we had right before, when it's talking about the moon thing or whatever, right? We made the wrong one and ended up in Futami's route. But it was like one option. Again, right now, I'm still not seeing how we ended up in Futami's fucking route, because everything all the choices here where we didn't do Futami. We're like, no, not gonna. We're doing Tomose, we're doing everyone else. I purposely did as much as I could to avoid Futami, to not get down that route, and we still ended up there. This is not balanced well. And I will be fucking livid. I'm not gonna lie. If we're going through all this, I'm doing all the Futami stuff so we can at least see what we missed. We make the right last choice for Tomose, and we still end up on Futami's route. Again, I'll go back and I'll skip through everything and it'll be whatever, but that's going to annoy me because there's no reason. There's really no logical reason that the coding behind the scenes should be so bad that we did Tomose heavy and made one choice and ended up in Futami's route. Like, I don't see how this happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's bonkers to me, but anyway, I like being able to see the Futami scenes now. I definitely feel like if we had been going back and forth and we saw most of Tomose's, that I would have been like, all right, fine. But I don't know. I think using the guides is a lot better because we're seeing what we should be seeing, because we missed some of Futami stuff. And right now it's okay because we just did his route the last couple parts. So like, whatever. Now we're just seeing these scenes a little bit behind. It makes sense. But like, we're going to be seeing Iochi stuff, or we may never see some of Iochi's stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I do think, at least in Iochi's, it was kind of like different choices, and we ended up in Iochi's because I'm like, I'm going to go here. Oh, wait, shit. That was talking to Iochi, not Ibana. So I don't think we missed too much with Iochi as much as this doesn't make sense. That one, it was very much up in the air, and I think we did both of them. So, like, I could see where we fell down Iochi by accident, you know? But this makes no sense to me, so I don't know. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.